There are different types of homes. I've called Western Australia home for over a decade now, but I love getting back over to the east and visiting my family and the home that I grew up in. This is a sick spot, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. After catching the red-eye flight, picking up a hire car, and driving for bloody hours, I made it home for Friday night pizza pool night. Welcome to the pool room. This is my brother Lee, my mum, Heather, my dad, Bob, sharpshooter of the house, and my nephew, Samson. Tonight, we're playing Kelly Pool. This is the pool room. Many games have gone down in here and heaps of family fun. I love coming back here for Friday night pizza pool night. My nan's old armchairs, chasing lazy boys, and how's that cool one my dad made out of a tractor seat? This is our family home, full of all the things that make it a home. Now that all us kids have grown up, it's a bit more peaceful here, hanging out amongst the tree ferns and moss, or just enjoying the view. Let me take you for a look around. Up the rock steps, past one of Dad's sheds, heading up towards the main woodshed. Yep, I've done this walk a bunch of times. 100 metres on the dot. Dad makes all kinds of things in here, but mostly works of art. Woodwork, that is. I picked up a thing or two from him along the way, and we've worked together on many projects. How good's all this stuff? This is what a workshop should look like. Out past the shed, we've got the White House on wheels, an old Leyland bus. The old outhouse, and what do you know, more sheds. This leads up to the back paddock. As a kid, there was so much space here to make all the fun you want. Here we built a sick BMX track, full of jumps, winding down this hill. Many hours of fun and many injuries happened here. Down the hill you've got the soak, connected to a swamp. A solar-powered pump pumps water up to the tanks. It's been going for over 3 decades. They don't make them like this anymore. Up the hill, we've got the dam. Doesn't look like much, but geez, this was fun as a kid. We'd come up with all sorts of games. When we were younger, making like little sailboats, and as we got older and more mature, we'd see how far we could ride a bike underwater through the dam. You'd fang in at one end and just see how far you could keep pedaling along the bottom, full of sludgy clay. We figured out a trick after a while. You could pull a mono and then do some sort of a bunny hop, and you could actually come up for a breath of air, sink back down and keep going. Yep, this was my favourite line to take it on. Plenty of trees around here, big eucalyptus trees. This felt normal growing up, and I didn't realise that most people didn't have this. This is the view from outside the shed, down over the old family farm and the river flats. This is the fire bunker. This is where Mum and Dad sheltered when the bushfires came through back in 2020. They quite possibly saved their life. Down the hill, we've got the orchard. Most of the trees have already finished for the season, but the Granny Smith is clinging on. I didn't realise how good I had it as a kid. We could just walk out and pick fresh fruit straight off the trees. Down to the right, you've got the creek and all the bush. It's a bit overgrown since the fires came through. This was endless fun as a kid. You'd charge off into the bush, maybe with some snacks and a drink. And Mum would always tell us, watch out for snakes. Have you ever seen an orange tree more laden with fruit than this? This is Mum's veggie garden. She spent decades building this up and produces the best vegetables that I've ever seen. What's currently on offer? Chilies, mint, lemongrass, cauliflower, snow peas, paprika, iceberg lettuce, and my favourite, broccoli.
Well, I've been watching this piece of broccoli for days now.
Yeah, right.
I think it's ready to pick.
My mum grows the best vegetables, don't you, Mum?
I do a pretty good job, I think.
I reckon so,
Oh.
judging by the head of that broccoli.
Look at that. Isn't
Yeah.
that a beauty?
I reckon so.
Cow manure.
Is that the secret?
That's the secret. We're
Plenty.
growing a good head of broccoli.
Plenty of cow manure.
Yep. So, pretty stoked with that.
Good stuff, Mum.
Yep.
Show us the secret sauce.
Okay. Well, I've just been unloading some here. Put it down nice and thick.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
We've got a good neighbour next door, so that helps. He lets me collect the poo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thanks, Charlie.
Anyway, that's a bit of a tour. There's plenty more, but the good stuff's really in here. I was so fortunate to grow up here and have the awesome parents that I do. Not far away, there's some pretty nice spots to visit. It's currently the middle of winter, and this pool isn't seeing any sunshine during the day. Still nice to get in there though. I normally jump into pools like this, but I know that there's definitely some branches in there waiting to just gore you. So sometimes a safe water entry is necessary. Yeah, it was about this point that my chest started really hurting. I don't know how cold that water was, but this is when the panic set in. And I realised I had to get the hell out of there. Still felt really nice though. How magical is that?
Absolutely freezing.
Not far away, there's the waterfall. Well, one of many waterfalls, but this one has a pretty good ledge that you can sit on. There's quite a bit of flood water coming down, and I've never attempted to get under it with this much water. It was at this moment my brain turned to ice. But I'm okay. Yeah, I know my way around these spots. All the little goat paths that get you where you need to go.
That was totally freezing. Brain freeze to the max.
The Stevens family love their walks. Not only is it a pastime, it's good exercise, gets the blood moving when it's cold, and it helps you get around and see things. That's Mum, charging out in front. She moves like a rocket on those feet. You wouldn't guess that she broke both her heels not long ago. That's Dad wandering to the left, and me, inappropriately dressed, on the right. How nice is that green? Mum reckons it's a good spot for a photo. I tend to agree. Skippy's a little camera shy. See you, mate. This is one of the river and lake systems nearby. Beautiful spot with lots of wildlife. You could mistake the lake for a mirror sometimes. This was a primo day. How good's that? If we're not walking through the bush or around the lake, we're walking on the beach. This place is home to many beautiful beaches. What a beautiful winter's day for a casual stroll along the beach. Hang on a second. Did I say casual? Sometimes you gotta get on the rocks if you want to keep your feet dry. There's Mum doing awesome. Dad forging on ahead. And me, scrambling along with my thumbs on. Nothing out of the ordinary there. I like to skim stones and check out cool rock formations, like this one right here. Layers and layers and layers, built up over thousands of years. How many? I'm not really sure. You come around the next corner to a million skipping stones. Time to skip them, I guess. Once a week, Mum and Dad would pick us up from school for lunch. We'd usually go down to the beach, have some hot chips, and I could be found looking for creatures in the rock pools, and catching crabs. They'd have to pull me away from there and take me back to that place called school that I didn't really like. Nature is my school. In nature, I learn about the world around me and myself at the same time. It's so lovely hanging out with my mum and dad. You got to make the most of these things. What a beautiful day. Days like this in winter don't happen very often in Victoria, so you got to make the most of them. Dad knew about a pool nearby. We thought we'd check it out. And that's how it's done. You can't let a little bit of cold water stop you from getting amongst it. Just let you know that you can feel and that you're alive. How good's this spot? Love it. I'll be back here. Maybe in summertime though, so I can spend a bit of time under the water. I reckon it'd be good with a mask and snorkel here. And that's Dad thinking, what's wrong with my son? I don't know what's wrong with me, but I like it. The serenity. But serenity isn't always for me. The rock formations along this coast are truly amazing. And I love going and exploring.
Might be a bit interesting out there today. Not much sand, lots of water moving. How sick's this cave? Alright, here's the mission. I'm going to try and snatch this camera somewhere and do some rock jumps. Wish me luck.
I'm not sure I recommend swimming with a selfie stick here. It's hard enough without one, but I made it work anyway. Sort of. You gotta time these things. Use the surge of the wave to your advantage and get out of there before the big one comes. Just in time. During winter, this spot doesn't get any sunshine. All the rocks were super slippery, and it was pretty cold. Normally I could climb up here and jump off the top there, but not today. Way too slippery, way too much water moving. Even this rock. Looks like it's in the sun, but it was wet and slippery. Now for the sugar glider.
That was fun. Alright, how about some more one-handed swimming?
You've got to be careful doing stuff like this. I've been here a lot, on smaller swells, clear days. I know where most of the hazards are and how to get around. Definitely want to scope places like this out before throwing yourself in.
There we go. Alright. Back through the cave, or up around those rocks. Razor sharp rocks. Nothing like some one-handed climbing to get you going in the morning. These are sharp as. Whew. There we go. How's all these rocks? Pretty cool. Not a bad view down there. Or down where we came from. Let's go find my infinity pool.
How's this cave?
There's a bird nest up there. Wonder what lives in that. Looks different every time I come past here, so I think it's active. But I'm not going to go disturb it to get a closer look. Just going to enjoy it every time I come here.
This pool is always beautiful. On small swell days, it warms up, a few degrees warmer than the ocean temperature. How good's that? If you want to see a full video of the cave's adventure, I'm going to link that in the description, but it's a bit long to put in this episode. There's heaps of cool stuff there. So if you like that kind of stuff, check it out. I love exploring places like this. Sometimes they're nice serene pools. Sometimes they're jagged rocks. It doesn't really matter. It's good to be able to appreciate all the different things. Like backflipping off a rock. There are pools for days around here. Sometimes it's nice just to float around. Getting back can be a bit dicey. I could have swum around this one, but sometimes you just got to get in there and see what it's like.
I don't know about that. Sometimes you just gotta hang tight and see what happens.
Seeing what happens is all very well and good, but I had stuff to get back to. Turning this into my home for the foreseeable future. There are different types of homes, and it's been really nice visiting the family home. the people that make it, and all the memories that come from a bloody awesome childhood. It's been really nice visiting my mum and dad, but it's time to get back to WA, to something else that feels like home. Now it's time to go to the northwest, where the desert meets the coral reef. I'm going to find the next place to call home.